If you're in a hurry, this is not for you. It's Scott from San Marcos Makes. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about a French press. I don't know how much you have used it, but I can tell you I think it's one of the best and cheapest ways to make a coffee. But I'm going to show you a way. The drawback a lot of people say with a French press is it gets that sludgy film down on the bottom. I'm going to show you a way that will not happen. Also going to show you ways throughout the video to make it better, but we'll talk about the minimum things you want to do and then little things along the way to make it even a better cup of coffee. So, one quick thing. If you're in a hurry, this is not for you. It's not. Get a Keurig or something. Go to Starbucks. This is for that Saturday, Sunday morning when you got a little bit of time to have a truly good cup of coffee. Let's see how to do it. So let's talk about what actually a French press is. So this is the version I use. I think it's a Starbucks model. Been using it for many years, but really you can go to Target, anywhere, Amazon, and find a French press, $20 to $30 max. Let me show you the pieces. So really it's a glass container that has a filter, and what most people think you do is you push down on it when you have brewed coffee. I'm going to show you a way that I think you can do it better. All right, so let's talk about must tools that you have to have. Obviously you got to have the French press. The other must truly is a scale that does grams. Easy way to set a baseline as far as ratio coffee to water is start with a 30 grams of coffee, 500 grams of water. Now I may do a little bit more because I like mine a little stronger, but until you know what you like, start with the 30 grams, 500 grams of water. Another tool you're gonna need is some way to heat up water. Now, you can use any kind of kettle. I recently got this one. I really like this one. It has, let me show you, buttons where I can hit exactly. I have a coffee button, so it puts me right at 205 degrees. And I have checked this with a thermometer. It puts me right there in boils water in less than 4 minutes. Comes with a nice pot, but this is something that I've learned. This is the, can you make things a little better? Having this, I believe it is called either fluted or goosenecked spout helps, but it's an upgrade. You were trying to basically boil water just below boiling. Another not required, but good to have is a burr grinder. Definitely at least a coffee grinder, but burr grinder is where you really can get a whole lot better extraction out of your coffee and dial in the setting. Definitely one of the last things you need is good quality coffee. So if you can, start with whole beans. If you cannot, you want it very coarse ground. But, so we are gonna go for, I recommend starting with 30. I'm gonna go 40 because I like mine stronger. I've played with it. And every coffee's a little bit different, but good baseline is always 30 grams of coffee to 500 grams of water. Really get it dialed in. So we'll take this all the way to 40, so we're at 37. See just how a couple beans can make that difference. So right at 40. Definitely big upgrade with the burr grinder. So I have the Encore. And we're gonna put this right in top. It's my measured beans. And you're gonna grind these up. And that is what you wanna get. Kind of see, that is the coarse ground that you're looking for. After we've put, a little mess there. After we put the ground beans, we wanna make sure we zero out the scale for the water. So for my water, I'm using the Kasori water. So that should come up to boil. And I get mine boiling, not boiling, but start my water cooking before I ground my beans. So it is ready to go the second my beans are ground. One thing I like about the Kasori is you turn it on and you hear it beeping. So that means it's right at 250, and I can also put this button hold temp, and it'll keep it right there. All right, so make sure your scale is zeroed out. And one thing I've learned to make this a little easier, as you pour, remember we're going to 500. Spin this or spin the whole thing. We're trying to make sure all of those beans get some water. I'll show you what that looks like, but just don't forget to be looking at your scale. Remember, you want to be at 500. And right on the dot is what you're after. Almost there. So you're gonna let this steep without touching a thing, no lid on it, nothing, for 4 minutes. Try to get some good close-ups of what it looks like as it's brewing. So this is just the steeping process. I have not disturbed it. But you notice all the grounds are wet. It's just sitting there steeping. So 4 minutes has passed, and really, this is where most people stop. They put it and push it down on the plunger, and this is why they get that sludge. So let me show you a couple steps that you can do. Now you do want to kind of stir this around, and you will get to see this foam that kind of produces at the top. We want to take that actually off. So normally for me, this goes right in the trash, but I'm gonna put it in the bowl. So we just want to keep scooping, and this also helps get out some of the grounds. Now I am using a metal spoon. Be very careful if you're using a metal spoon, because this is obviously glass, plus it's hot right now. So recommend using a wooden spoon if you got it, or be very careful using a metal spoon. All right, so we got that cleared off. Our next step is we're still not done, and we're still not going to push down. Just rest my lid right on top. And we are gonna wait 7 minutes now. 6 to 7 minutes. Just let it set. Don't touch it, don't stir it, nothing. 7 minutes. Told you, this is Saturday, Sunday coffee, not Monday morning rushing through the door coffee. It'll be worth it, trust me. Trust me, it was worth it. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is, if you wanna push down, but don't go past the coffee. Use it as a filter. So you can see, I didn't push all the way down. That's the mistake a lot of people make, and that's where you get that sludginess. Next, we are just gonna simply pour the cup of coffee. And it is passing through that screen to get out any of the big particles. The little particles settle to the bottom. You will not get them. That's gonna be the perfect cup of coffee. Now, if you wanted to add a little sweetener, add some sweetener. If you wanted to add cream, you could add your cream. Treat it any other way, but let's try this coffee. Well, let's try it. Yeah, so that's where you're gonna get to experience how good this cup of coffee is. You're gonna notice how smooth, how strong, and you actually get to taste the coffee. It is so incredible. Yeah, you want good quality coffee, it's gonna be absolutely worth it. So let's go over a couple things to make this easier. A, quit pushing down on this. That is what makes the sludginess. Good quality coffee. There's so much out there. Explore, find what you like. Use good water, stir, but you're trying to let those particles go down. And again, good quality coffee. All of these things will be great, make you have a great cup of coffee, and that's what it's all about. Please always remember my rules. Beans don't go in chili. Okra does not go in gumbo, but it's perfectly fine to have pineapple on pizza. And I guess quit pushing down on your French press.